This episode of the Inside Running Podcast is powered by Lululemon. With 44 stores across Australia and New Zealand, you can shop the latest range either in-store or online at lululemon.com.au to find your well-being.
Welcome to episode number 313 of the Inside Running Podcast. Thank you for joining us for another week. Pretty light on agenda, not many running races over the weekend, so we're not going to be talking about many race results, but we'll be talking about a few other things that have happened in the running world. Be chatting about Bowman Track Club, losing a few members, the Ingebrigtsens over there in Norway. The Burnie 10 did happen, plus we've got all the other segments that we do each and every other week. Welcome, my co-host. He's up in Canberra, Bradley Croker, the 217 marathon man, who's on a comeback, if it's the first time you've tuned in, from a heart issue. Welcome to you.
Thanks, Brady. I guess I'm on a comeback, running more than I was a few months ago.
Yeah, we're calling it a comeback for sure.
Massive comeback. Actually ran with your cardiologist on Sunday, Croaks, and normally I just love winding him up about how much you're taking the piss with it all. Telling him all these sessions you're doing and watch his face kind of drain, all the blood from his face drain. But didn't get a chance to talk about you this week, which was sad.
Didn't you run for 2 hours?
No, I did 90 minutes.
No, Moose ran for 2 hours.
Moose ran for 2 hours.
No, he got dropped though. He was dropped. He was off. The old guys turned off early this week.
Okay, I was going to say 2 hours.
He ran a marathon like 3 weeks ago.
2:36 too, the old boy.
First over 50.
Yep.
When are you getting him on, Moose? I've been saying it for months, get Andre on.
Have you?
Yeah.
You haven't said that once.
I do actually have Andre. Well, we've been speaking about getting him on, and it's just a matter of finding a time. So I've got all the questions. He's aware of it. He's keen to come on. It's just a matter of locking him down because it's he's a pretty busy guy.
Okay, welcome to our co-host, the 214 marathon man, also on a comeback off the back of his recent marathon in September at Sydney. Welcome to you, Moose. How you going?
Yeah, I've been on a comeback since 2019. It's just one long comeback from now on.
Oh, this has been the smoothest it's been for a while for you.
I wouldn't say smoothest,
the year,
but I'm running the most for sure. Running the most. I reckon it was smoother leading into Sydney, just based off how the body's feeling now.
But you reckon 2023 has been better than 2021 and 22?
Yeah, I do.
Even 2020, didn't you get injured the first time like in March, April?
I got injured in March last year and then had probably, I'm going to say like 6 weeks off, maybe a little bit more, built back very slowly and never really pushed it until probably mid-June this year. So it's the first time I've really started to get the mileage at 130 as a standard for a long time. I notice it. I notice that I'm tired all the time. I can't quite handle it like I used to because there's so much more other stress going on. And 130 is not a lot at all, but when I was running 180, 190, I had nothing going on in my life. Like I look back now and think, fuck, that was easy. That was running 190k a week was so easy compared to what you deal with as a busier business owner and a dad. Like it just doesn't. It's just totally different.
People underestimate that too much, I think, Moose, and that's where it's hard, I think, as a coach as well. It's one thing to write a program, but like you're not there with the person 24/7 knowing what other stresses they've got going on, and I think they sometimes underestimate the impact that can have.
You bring up a good point though, Moose, because I was thinking about it Saturday, because I set this goal to just do 150 Ks. I just say just because I'm so used to running, 170, 180, what we're kind of talking about then. And then I was thinking to myself, how am I getting so tired off running 150k weeks, and how am I finding it so hard to fit in? And I think it's because of all that other stuff you just spoke about. And then I started thinking, I'm like, well, flip this. How many people do you know who have got 2 kids, got a job, running 150k a week?
Yeah, and there's no doubt we're older. So we're like, I'll be 38 soon.
38?
Croaks, what are you? Yeah, 38.
You're not that old, are you?
Of course I am.
What year were you born?
86.
You sure? I think
Moose,
I'm only turning 36.
I ran 217 as a 37-year-old.
Yeah, you did well back then. You had 1 kid then?
He's got the talent.
Well, when I ran it, Viv was pregnant.
Yeah, so you were in the glory days still back then.
It all went downhill about 2 months after Lily was born. Actually, a month. I think it was 4 weeks.
Oh, those were the days, weren't they?
Yeah.
Before these blasted kids come along.
That's what we should start doing. Post-baby PBs.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
We should just...
Hey, I've got you here, boys.
What do you mean?
I reckon I've run 220 a few times with kids.
Yeah, you've run a lot more than us, that's for sure. A lot more mileage you've been able to handle. You also probably
younger.
Yeah.
work the least as well of the 3 of us.
Croaks works way less than me. But he's older.
But the age thing, you can't fuck around with that. And I know, like, we live in Australia. We have Sinead Diver who ruins this for us every day. But 38-year-old, I'm not that yet. Croaks, what are you, 42?
I'm 43. I'm 44 next August.
Oh,
When do you turn 38, Moose?
March next year. There's a
Oh,
bit to
okay.
go. There's a bit to go. I'm hamming it up a little bit to make my point. But my body just doesn't recover like it used to. Can't do it. So I've got to be more content. I've got to make the most of my running. I can't just piss away the runs that I do. They've got to have a purpose. If I go out for a recovery run, got to recover on it. Got to get the workouts to hit their spots. I can't mess around. So it teaches you to be more efficient, I think, with your running.
Oh, and
That's what I'm taking away from it. Yeah, and also because your mileage is lower, make it count a bit more. That doesn't mean run harder. That means make it count, like do what you're supposed to do. Like recover when you're supposed to recover. Hit your thresholds. Don't fuck around running them too hard and too fast. On your long runs, make them hilly, make them a bit longer. If your long run is supposed to be long, that's how I'm approaching it at the moment.
Okay, well, tell us about your week, because it looks pretty good here.
Oh.
130.
Well, it's not a bad week. Not a bad week. You give me a bit of a hype up midweek, which got me going.
Yeah, I liked your workouts.
I don't think I deserved it like I got it, but I'll take it. Because I don't get a lot of pump ups anymore. Not until racing starts again. That's when it'll all happen, and it's a while off now. So the first day I ran in a pair of trail shoes that I just got, the Nike Terra Kyga 9. So like this, my favorite ever shoe of all time was the Nike Terra Kyga 1. And this is the Terra Kyga 9. And I actually really like the feel of this. It's a bit more minimal, a bit more nimble on the single track. So yeah, got around that. Didn't do a lot of trail on this run, just a small amount. Felt fine in the morning. So I just ran 7K. Ran 7 on the afternoon, got out, Brie and Pia on the bike. That was fun. Had the dog next to us, so a bit of a family run. The next day, ran some hills. Now, I used to do this loop when I lived at the bottom of the hill, and I would run it anti-clockwise. So I would finish on this downhill. But now I'm living at the top of the hill. For some reason, I run it clockwise, and I'm finishing on this bastard of a hill. And I thought, midway through this run, I thought, geez, I'm getting fit right now. And then halfway up this hill, I thought, geez, I'm fucking unfit right now. It's amazing how quick it changed. Halfway up the road section at the, I'm going to say the 12.34 mark. Oh, just hard work. It's about a 10% gradient, which is pretty steep. But at that point, I was tired, a bit tired as well. But I wanted this to stretch to 65 minutes to get a little bit longer in because I wasn't going to double. So 14.7, decent hills, 262. That's about your week, I reckon, Brady.
Yeah, if that, I reckon, Moose. I'll tell you. I'll have a look when I'm recapping my week and tell you.
Yeah, have a look. Went in onto the track on Wednesday morning. So Ali and I are running Wednesday morning sessions in at Geelong. I did 5x2K on the track, 20 laps, that is. That's a long time on the track, and I didn't love it. It got boring for me. It was no group to run with, and the pace was, I was going to heart rate, so the pace was pretty easy. Like, it wasn't stretching me at all. So it was kind of boring to a point where I was like just trying to play games through the reps to keep myself a bit occupied. So I would kind of look to see where Ali was on the other side of the track and then guess where I would be in 400 meters, how far different we would be at the same point. That's how bored I was here. So it was nice to finish it. I went 6:30, 6:31, 6:32, 6:34. So got a little bit slower. Average heart rates were pretty good, 158, 64, 67, 66. And then we did 10 by 15-second hill reps after that. So 8K worth of work. Getting the threshold stuff I'm doing a bit more of because I'm finding it easier to recover from. And I did take your advice a little bit, Brady and Brad. Both of you agreed on this, that Wednesday should be a little harder. And this was probably the harder workout of the two, although I think they were actually even in the end. But that was my plan. I didn't actually end up doing my workout on Friday. So I doubled Wednesday night and then a double Thursday around 7K, and I ran in Geelong on Thursday night. I think it was Thursday night. Yeah, it was shit running on the concrete. Don't know how people in cities do it. They like running on concrete through traffic, even down to the Geelong waterfront, which is a really nice area. Just the concrete paths, I just have no love for it whatsoever. So I finished that, and then the next day, I could not believe the contrast in how much I liked running. So I got an hour on all single track, and this was so much fun. I was 50 minutes into this run thinking, I fucking love running. And I was 20 minutes into the run the day before thinking, I hate this. This is shit. I wouldn't do this if I lived here. And so it's amazing how much your environment can change your enjoyment of running. Probably more so now that I'm like older and it's not as serious. Because I reckon back in the day when it was all performance focused, then I wouldn't care where I ran. But anyway, that was a good day, good trail day. I got a new shoe for the warm up. In the end, Brady, I probably wasn't in the shape to do a workout on Friday.
Even like a B workout, C+.
Yeah, I don't think so. I had to run early because I had a meeting. So I don't know for sure, because originally I planned to do one in Torquay, and I woke up and I'd fucked my alarm up. So I didn't get there in time. So I decided to run just at home easy. So I can't tell you for sure, but I didn't feel like I was in a workout state of health. I pushed it to Saturday. I did. I got a new shoe, and it's called the On Cloud Eclipse. It's like their most cushioned shoe now. It's more cushioned than a Monster. It's a bit stiffer. It's a bit more maximal. Kind of like a Glide Ride vibe from Asics, which I know
really?
you boys both like. Yeah, it is.
Put it on my
Is it
Christmas
more,
list. Here we go, Croaks.
More cushioned than the Surfer?
Yeah, way more cushion. A lot more stack. And it's not as sloppy underfoot. I found the Surfer pretty sloppy, whereas I don't find this sloppy at all. I found it way more stable than the Surfer.
Pretty good colourway on it too. I like that. Orange, ready.
Yeah, the Mango's been getting some good feedback. Real good feedback. The one thing is it's a very deep fit, so it doesn't handle little baby feet. I'm a bit worried about your foot, Brady.
Mine fit in. I got a couple of ons I've been rolling through.
Yeah.
What was the last one we did the review on?
The Stratus.
Yeah. Wearing that today, actually.
So Moose, getting back to your sessions, I personally think Wednesday, Friday, like when you've only got 2 sessions a week, like you're not giving yourself too much recovery, and it sounds like, you know, your body's struggling to do that anyway. So will you continue with the Wednesday, Saturday?
Yeah, this week I was going to try Wednesday, Friday, because I haven't really tried it yet. But Wednesday, Saturday is working for me at the moment. And Sunday this week was fine. I did that long run and I really felt great the whole way. So it wasn't a problem. But what I have done is I've dropped my strength work a fair bit. That's one thing I think I was going overboard with, and it was really hurting my recovery times, because I was doing it on Wednesday nights after my workout, and I would be sore from that lifting until Friday night, I reckon. Even Saturday morning I'd still feel a little bit, and then I would do another big lift on Sunday night, and it's too much. I even spoke to Ali about it, and I told her what I was doing. She said, you got to reduce the amount of reps you're doing. Said you're lifting heavy but too many reps, so you got to cut it back, do like a max of 5 reps instead of the 8 to 10 that I was lifting. And you should feel better if you do that and still get the strength gains. So that's one thing I'll change. But I've still been getting these sort of viral waves of fatigue. I'm not quite over that yet. So I've backed off the strength a fair bit just to see if it makes a difference. The workout I did was 15 on Saturday morning, 15 by 60 seconds solid, 60 seconds float. I had just the workout screen up, which was showing pace for the ons, but in the recovery screen of the workout, I didn't get a pace or a heart rate. So I was kind of just doing my recoveries to feel, and the ons, I was just using solid as the cue, but I was hoping it would be about 310s. The goal was that I would run 310s, 330s. That's what I had in my mind before the workout started. So it went 314, 51, 09, 40, 08, 38, 14, 35, 11, 28, 01, 25, 03, 30, 06, 36, 09, 33. Geez, I'm not going to read all these out. This is the first time I looked at these, actually. It got difficult. Like looking at my heart rate graph, like that heart rate, that climbs pretty substantially when you're looking at the lap screen and the average heart rate for each lap. So I was finishing without the heart rate recovering in the floats. So I was definitely floating pretty hard towards the end. Well, it depends if I was going uphill or not, I guess. Anyway, I averaged 319 for that, so it was a bit faster than what I wanted, only by a second. And everything, it was pretty good. Like I had trouble mechanically getting moving. Couldn't really run much faster than sort of 3.5 pace unless it was downhill. And then uphill, like, yeah, the ons were hard. The offs were pretty easy. I think, again, this is not the type of training that I've been really specific for. And it sort of is like a half threshold turning into a more of a VO2 sort of max stuff at the end. A little bit higher heart rate than on the Wednesday. Oh, and then Sunday. Sunday was a good one. Sunday was classic long run for us. I doubled that night, but Sunday we got out and went solid again. So we started real easy. We had a solid big group at the start. We had about, I counted 4 doctors in the group. That's pretty crazy, isn't it?
Pretty amazing, yeah. High IQ.
Well, I was about to say 4 doctors. I was still the smartest in the group.
Right, yeah.
It's just, it's wild that you could pull that together and still come out on top. But we started pretty slow, like 4:56, 5 minute, 4:52, 41, 5 minute. I whacked my head on a branch at the at the 5K mark, got a bit of blood going. Fuck, it hurt. And then I sort of forgot about it after that. And then we got out.
Clearly not the smartest guy in the group.
The doctors stopped. They look after me, though. All of them. A couple of them were concerned. A couple of them weren't. And then we got going after that. So they got on the roads out the back, started to drop some decent Ks out here. Because I looked at, we were averaging 450 at probably about the, 6K mark. And then by the time we got to 24K, we're averaging like 418 or something. So I knew we'd got going, and it just felt good. It felt good to get rolling. The group, everyone could handle that pace fine, even though they were working pretty hard. They could still handle it all right. And bulk amount of shit being talked, which was perfect Sunday. Heart rate sort of got up towards the end, as it would when you're running that pace for me, which was at the end sort of 350, 355-ish. And then finished, body felt fine, 28.5K, 2 hours. Yeah, body felt all right. Average heart rate for the run was 142. So although it did get up at times, it wasn't up for 2 hours. And then 130-ish K for the week. So, yeah, thanks, Brady. Great week from me. Good week.
He's good. He's up and about too. That Kieran's back as well, isn't he, Croaks?
He is.
Big
few
KP.
Stories from his world tour.
Big KP's the only single man left in our group. So it's always fun story time. Actually had some classic combos because he'd trained for Berlin, but he'd gone through Mexico. So he trained a bit in Mexico City. Then he went up to America, New York, Toronto. Then he went over to Kenya. So he trained in Kenya before Berlin. And then he's got this story about how he rode this motorbike from, I think it was like Iten to the capital. What's the capital?
Nairobi.
I think it was Nairobi. And he's like, what, like super dangerous thing that he did. And then he ended up bike riding like across Europe or something. He's done it all, the boy. Although apparently he didn't get a lot of
move on.
yeah. No, he's good. Got some good stories.
That's good. That's a good week.
I did 4 by 2K, Croaks.
Yeah, you did 4. That's why Brady pumped you up so much, because you managed to do 5 by 2K in 4 reps.
I fucked that up. I fucked that up the other day too.
No, I pumped him up because I looked at the splits and he hadn't had track mode on. So when I first looked at it, it said he was running like 3:10 pace because he was on the track, but his 2Ks were really in 6:30.
Yeah.
And then I looked at your heart rate. I'm like, geez, you're fit for running that pace at that heart rate. But then I had to readjust. But it was still a good workout.
And then he labelled it 5 reps, even though he did 4.
Yeah, so that would
Why would I think that it would be 5? That's
I reckon
dumb.
you got to reduce the recovery. Well, we're having 2 minutes walk or something, weren't you?
I think I had 90.
90, so yeah, do that off 60-second jog. 90 seconds.
Pretty solid weekend though, Moose.
Yeah, big weekend.
You know, that long run.
Watch out doing that. I know you said you feel good, but watch out.
I reckon the average is because your first like 4K was so slow, it makes it look like it was probably an easier run than it was. But after 5K, you guys were rolling pretty well through those hills. Yeah.
I think you're right. It was a solid long run, but that's what our program's built off, those Sundays. And I mean, you did this. You are the Sunday man.
Yeah, and I cop shit for it, but I don't do a session on the Saturday.
Yeah, but I reckon you go a bit faster, and I reckon you go a bit longer, maybe a bit hillier.
He's out the gate quicker. He's not warming up for 4K. It's no 5-minute Ks to start up.
Just consistent, yeah.
Yeah, no, it is a big weekend, but I don't work on the weekend.
Yeah, the life stress gets lower.
Yeah, huge difference. I love it. I think it's great. I'm doing a workout at like 9 o'clock after I wake up, and we go for a little walk. Pia has a scoot. I get to warm the body up a little, get some food in. Yeah, it's so much more relaxing.
Right.
Plus, it's a bit more marathons. Like, I think if you can get away with it, it's also very marathon specific in that you're running a long run like on pretty fatigued legs.
Yeah.
Which, like you don't get, I suppose, if you've had like the full day recovery from a Friday session.
Yep. Yeah.
That's what, yeah. Well, that's why I always like the midweek long run on a Wednesday after the Tuesday session. Same sort of thing. It's like, it doesn't need to be fast, but you're learning to run on tired legs.
So you would do that and then run Thursday workout, or like the big programs do that, don't they?
Well, they used to.
Because that's hard work right there.
Yeah, but the difference was all of their sessions were 20 minutes, whereas we now go generally a fair bit longer than 20-minute sessions.
Yeah.
But like I don't do, like if I do a Wednesday midweek long run, Thursday is like my easiest day of the week, and then I do a Friday session.
The intensity of, we must go back and try one of those weeks. Because although they're 20 minutes, I would argue that Deeks Quarters or Mona Fartlek would hurt my body more than 4x2K or 5 by a mile, 3 by 10 minutes at threshold. Those kind of standard workouts we're just talking about.
And pre-super shoes, so you're not pulling up as well. But you can see why they got so strong, I suppose, like if they didn't break.
Yeah, they did. I remember I trained for a Great Ocean Road Marathon, maybe 2017, doing it like that. And I felt like I got really fit from that. Like we were doing Saturday morning hill course, which was always tough, always so tough. Like basically a cross-country race on the Saturday morning into a 40K long run on the Sunday. And that Sunday was hilly as. And there's just no breaks. It's just like every day you are pretty much on. Even 10 miles on Monday through the Monday loop, like pretty hard work.
It's the mental thing about waking up every morning and you're kind of doing something hard.
Yeah.
Something stressful on the body. Anyway, Croaks, tell us about your week.
So Monday was just the standard Mulligans loop, just over 7K, 435s. Before I went out and actually did a tour of Rob Wilson's school where he works and his wife works, because I might do a bit of relief teaching there next year. He works at a distance ed school, so there's actually like no students on site. It's all like online, and it's for people that like athletes that are traveling the world, people that live like remotely, and people like kids that have had like bad experiences at school, sort of refusing to go to physical school, so they do all their stuff online. So yeah, went and checked out that, so I might do some stuff there next year.
What kind of stuff though? Like if they got no kids there, or you actually get a job?
You just do like online, like you just do the online lessons, like run through the online lessons.
Sorry. You won't do what you're doing now there next year.
Yeah, so I might mix between my current school and that school, do like a couple of days of each, maybe. Anyway, looked at, it was a good setup. Then Tuesday track session. So the session was 6 by 800 off a 90-second sort of standing recovery. So it was a little bit higher intensity for the group, sort of working more at 3 to 5K sort of paces. And it was a mixed pace session where like the first rep they run, try and run it consistent, so more like sort of 5K pace. The next 2 reps, they run the first lap faster and then slow down the second lap. So you're sort of, I guess spiking the lactate a little bit and then trying to like clear it while still running relatively fast. So it was more like a 3K pace lap followed by a 5K pace. Then the 2 reps after that, it flipped around. So you run like a 5K pace lap and then a 3K pace lap. And then the last rep sort of, depending on how you feel, anywhere between 3 and 5K pace, which I obviously wasn't running at my 3K or 5K pace. So I went like 247, 239, 239, 238, 237 and 233 for the 800 meter reps. Felt okay. Like felt like I was working, but certainly not getting like lactic or anything like that. So that was Tuesday. Then Wednesday is my sort of, it's longer than my Monday run. So, I'm trying to do an hour. So I did 62 minutes, just over 14K at 426s. I took Thursday off because I'm only running 5 days a week because I've got a quota of about 70K. And then Friday's session was 3 by 8 minutes off a 2-minute jog. So I ran 333s for the first 8 minutes, 325s for the second, and 323s for the third. Heart rate was pretty good. Like definitely getting fitter because a couple of weeks ago I did a 25-minute straight tempo at like just under 350s, and I averaged like 160 heart rate, and for this session I averaged 161, but averaged 336s for the whole thing, including the recovery. So that was good. Like, felt pretty comfortable. Definitely lacking, like, you sort of know when you're not running that many miles at the back end of the sessions, just from a strength point of view, you just sort of feel a bit sloppy, and you're like, yeah, okay, I'm not quite as strong as I would be off, another 50K a week. But it's still in that comfortable sort of zone. Then Saturday I took off. Yeah. And then Sunday ran with, Adrian, Zach and Jack. So I did, 90 minutes, 4:17s, 21K. So, a week of like 72K, which would pretty much just be, that's pretty much what I'll be rolling now till Christmas with, I think I'm going to start taking Mondays off and Thursdays off. Yeah.
Okay.
A week.
Good. When's the next appointment in Melbourne?
I don't have anything locked in. He said we'll catch up like a month after this loop recorder was inserted, which is getting close now. Whether that happens, I'm not sure. But the other thing he wanted to do was an MRI before Christmas.
Yeah.
And then so it was more about keeping it at sort of 70K till Christmas, and then reassessing then. And if everything was still tracking well, I'm hoping I sort of get the okay to ramp things up a little bit more.
But no incidents where it's like jumped up since the operation?
No, I haven't felt anything, and I haven't had anyone call me to say that the loop recorder has shown an arrhythmia.
That's got to be a good sign.
Yeah, and that's actually the one thing I forgot to mention last week when you guys were giving me shit about accidentally forgetting my like heart rate strap. It's like, if Andre wanted to see what my heart rate was doing, he can see 24/7 because I've got a permanent heart rate strap in me. So,
true.
It goes through to his phone, does it? He can just...
No, I think it goes. So Andre didn't put it in. It was another doctor, and so I think the other doctor would probably get the notification. So it's set for 195. So if it goes above 195, they will then get an alert.
What, towards like a smartwatch or something?
Well, I know how it works, but which I don't. I can't get that high running.
The guy's just out for dinner, Moose, and his watch just starts flashing at him. It just says Brad Croker, Mulligan's flat.
Who's this having a crack now?
Good. Let me whistle through this week, fellas. Monday, 15K in the morning at 4:39 pace. We were in Melbourne last Monday. Olivia had her baked egg challenge at the Royal Children's Hospital. So we drove down there and back. Long day. Got home about 7:30 p.m. Didn't do a double. Got to stage 3 for those people at home wondering. So still had an allergic reaction to baked egg, but not as sensitive early on in the test. So that was fun. Sitting in the Royal Children's Hospital for the day. Such the saddest place getting around. Just seeing all the sick kids. It's just
That would be so fun.
And we've done it I think 3 times now, and you're just like, you're just so grateful that you get to take your kids home. Or Hudson didn't come, he stayed in Echuca, but take Olivia home at the end of it. And the room where they did the challenge, there was like 5 kids doing different allergy tests at the same time. So like there's a kid over in the corner having avocado for the first time who's allergic to avocado, kid having cashews, Olivia's having baked egg. And then you just got all the nurses like in the room just ready to, I don't know if they just put the EpiPen in if they have a bad reaction or what happens. So, it was an interesting setup.
The kids weren't placing bets on who was going to vomit first?
No. And then every time they have some, they then have to wait like, say, an hour to see if like a reaction happens, and then they get to have a little bit more. So it's a drawn-out process where it's a lot of have a little bite, wait an hour, or come back in an hour, have another bite. So, a long day, but good to know that she's not super sensitive and... just in case she does have a bit of baked egg somewhere down the track.
So it's not eggs in general, just baked eggs.
So she's allergic to raw eggs, and then this was a test to see how she went with the baked eggs, because baked eggs are obviously in a lot of different products.
Oh, like quiches and that.
Yeah, or just like cakes and donuts, and there's a lot of foods that if you look at the labels, it's just like may contain egg, stuff like that as well in like a baked format. Okay. So we'll go back in 12 months' time, and she does it again. So we'll see how that goes. Tuesday, I did a workout, 6 by a mile, off 90 seconds jog. Probably like 3:15s early on in this workout. I often start workouts a bit on the slower side, and then the last two I went 3:08 and 3:04. Kind of felt really good. Didn't look at my watch at all the last one. Just thought just work steady on this one and see what the data kind of gives you. So that was good because I feel like I turned a bit of a page with fitness the last few weeks, just stringing some mileage together. In the afternoon, I got out for 7K at 4:38 pace. 3 p.m. I had a meeting at 4 p.m, so I had to go at 3 p.m. And it's too early for the double. 3 p.m. still feels like it's just after lunch. Still super hot. Just too soon off the morning workout. I don't like going
Get into the boys.
Get into
the boys about this.
I feel like I haven't recovered. And I'd probably get home at 9:30 from my morning run, and I still feel like 3 p.m.'s too soon.
Just remember who those two boys are too.
What do you mean?
It's not like you got two fucking gurus on with you.
Toby's run a quicker marathon than me, and probably a 5K and 10K. He's got some runs on the board.
I think 9:30 to 3-ish is all right. Like if you're just going out for an easy half an hour.
No, I don't like it. Still felt rush croaks. Maybe because I didn't get enough work done during the day and had this meeting at 4 p.m. hanging over my head.
How old are you now? 37.
I'm 36 in December. I'm still 35. So
How long do you reckon? How long do you reckon some of the MTC people have before their doubles?
They must finish at midday and then go at 5:30, 5 p.m. They
Yeah,
must only
so
have 5 hours.
It's all right for Aussie record holders.
Yeah, but they're not working during the day. So 5 hours of no work. I'm saying like 7 hours of work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not sitting
potentially,
on the couch watching Netflix.
potentially you could argue, depending on how strenuous your work is, that the double's detrimental. Depending on what job you have.
Yeah, if you're a tradie, I wouldn't be doing the double. Wednesday did 60 minutes at 4:34 pace, so like a super easy day for me Wednesday. And then Thursday got out for a 20k steady run, Croaks. Left the Wu-Tang Clan off the iPod this week just to settle things down a bit and averaged 3:49 pace. So I'm trying to slow them down a bit. Hopefully you're happy with that. Nah, I didn't wear the heart rate monitor. I've got a lot of people DM'd me though about some good recommendations. And I think, when's that Coros one coming out? Because I think I might make a purchase.
November.
November
20. November 20, we're seeing it.
Still a long way away, November 20. I've got a good recommendation. Thanks to all the people that sent me different recommendations. But there was one. Have you heard of this, like, Rhythm 24? I'm trying to think what brand it is. Scotchy, SCOSCHE. This guy reckons this is legit. Best heart rate monitor getting around.
So you had one recommendation, and that's what you're going off.
Never heard of that brand.
Google it, people. Google it.
I talk with people involved in science where they use heart rate monitors to get data. And no one's using that. No one's using that.
Well, maybe they're missing out. This is what the message said. Hey, big dog. So it's always good getting acknowledged like that in a greeting. Heard you're chasing a heart rate brand. I use this Rhythm 24 and it's great. I wear it on my forearm and it has configurable LED colours codes that match your heart rate zone. How good's that? There's a big review on it. DC Rainmaker.
How do you How do you spell the brand?
SCOSCHE.
Oh.
Rhythm 24. Type that in.
Well, guess what?
I don't think it's like a run and retail thing, Moose. I think it's like we do like heart readings and stuff.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Like this is like medical, like precision.
Medical precision on your arm.
Yeah.
If it was medical precision, it ain't on your arm, boy.
You got the reviews up there, Croaks?
Well,
good reviews on it. He's just pissed off because he doesn't stock it and he can't make money off it.
I'm on Officeworks.
Well, they selling it.
Shop Scotchy. Is that how you pronounce it?
I don't know, mate.
SCOSCHE, yeah?
Yeah. They're not a sponsor, by the way.
So this is the brand.
Zaka, let's hit this brand up.
Scotchy accessories are designed to keep you on the move with in-car accessories that make navigating life easier.
Yeah, they do that kind of stuff.
So you might want to change that about
being
you
said it was
medical brand.
Don't listen to anything I say. But anyway. So that's I'm nearly going to make
you nailed that.
I'm getting close to making a purchase. Anyway, didn't wear heart rate, but average 3:49. Felt pretty good.
Guess your heart rate.
148. Maybe. It's pretty cold.
Do you like this from him, Moose, or are you not a fan?
I don't mind it. It's got to go somewhere, though. It's got to be part of a plan, doesn't it?
I'm actually dialing it back this week. I was just doing it for 4 weeks to try to get fit. Now I'm going to start putting a bit more intention into my workouts the next couple of weeks.
You reckon that's how you get fit?
Yeah, just flogging yourself, jogging
that's
a bit
the
quicker.
secret. Is it
did it for years.
Midweek steady?
midweek steady. Well, you just give me shit when I don't run fast enough, and now I run a bit faster, and you give me shit for running too fast.
Who's giving you
can't
shit?
Just make, you guys, you can't make us happy.
I haven't given you shit. I'm asking you, is this how you get fit?
That's how you get fit.
So you write programs for people. How many get this from you?
No one gets this from me. Oh, maybe some people in a long run just push it a bit at the end. If you're coming off like a B session on a Friday,
it's different though.
Yeah, I know this is different time of the week.
So if you're why aren't you giving this to people?
Because I think it's a risky thing to do. Because you're looking at my week as a whole here, you're going, hey, you're doing a workout Tuesday, you're doing a workout Friday, you're doing a long run Sunday, and you're putting this in also on a Thursday.
And
that's why you dial down the workouts, and I don't know if I trust people to dial down the workouts. I think people fang the workouts too often.
Okay, well,
takes a lot of discipline.
I heard you say that you don't, like, you just need to get work in. You don't need to take, like, you want to get back to consistent training again, right?
Yeah.
Then why would you take risks then?
Yeah, true. I don't know.
I'm just asking.
Good point.
I want you to just be accountable to yourself.
Consistent, yeah, but the risk I'm putting in here is less risky than like fanging workouts.
I think so too.
Yeah. It's good that we agree. Two smart minds agreeing on training.
I don't like that it's a day before. It's the day before.
Yeah, you'd
workout.
prefer if I did this on the Thursday but dialed it back to 3:55, you'd love it, wouldn't you? On a Wednesday, the day after the workout.
Yeah, I just think doing 20K at that sort of effort is definitely going to take away from your session the next day. Whereas, like, I don't run this fast on my midweek long run, but I at least have a day recovery after the midweek long run before I do a session.
Yeah, whereas I'm putting the day recovery on the Wednesday, real easy day. We're getting a lot into like how you structure a training week here, aren't we? And that's because work's more stressful on a Wednesday than it is Thursday. Yeah. But I could do that. Could move it. It doesn't seem to like tire me too much, I guess, because the workout's been dialed back a bit. But I'm doing 8K in the afternoon that same day at 4:28, and feel good. And then on Friday, I've got to stop doing these as well. I've got to get on the track. I did 12 400s up and down a straight road. Average like 69, I think. Pretty settled in the first like 8 or 9. Punched the 11th one in 62. But I'm just not... You know when you
62?
Don't do the... Yeah, 62.9 I got it down to. It's pretty good. I just banged it down until I heard my watch beep. But I don't know if it's accurate. And I don't like... Then I can't take any confidence from it. Like I know I'm running hard for a minute and, 5 minutes and 8 seconds, whatever they are. But because it's not on an actual athletics track and I'm kind of hardwired to get that data for it then to mean something, just going up and down this straight road, it feels like I'm cheating a bit. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I don't think it works. Yeah.
I think physiologically though, like you sort of know, you know what zone you're in and how hard you're working. So it's whether you're on a track or whether you're doing this, you're going to be getting the same benefit.
That's what I'm trying to tell myself, Croaks. But I would have got much more confidence if I did that on a track and saw those numbers.
A couple of seconds doesn't matter. Like you,
I know.
Like, and but the GPS preempts where you'll be, doesn't it? So if you're running at like 20k an hour, it kind of does it preempt that you're going to hit 400 in a certain time and go off, or is it like fully like if you stopped it?
No, good question, Moose. Because the watches, even when you put it, obviously when you have time reps, they count down with 5 seconds to go. But I noticed the watches even do that in when you have it on a distance split.
Oh no! So I just put 400 meter laps on.
Yeah,
that is a distance split.
Yeah, but I remember,
but it doesn't count down. Just dip.
That might be the Coros, but I remember with Garmin, if I put like a distance in, it used to actually give me a bit of a countdown.
Yeah, that's why I thought it must preempt it or
it does if you put it in as a planned workout, but because I just put it in as like just turn 400 meter laps on. And I just run in the one direction until it goes. You know how if you got your K markers on?
Yeah.
It just beeps once every K. This just beeps.
Gotcha.
And then I'll just walk around for like 55 seconds and I just hit manually lap to then reset it to say start again to 400.
So you've just got auto lap on, not
400 meters.
Not a session.
No, not a session.
Yeah.
And when I did those 300s the other day, I thought that was maybe just, because then it gives it a chance to reset every time, I suppose. Don't know.
Look, I reckon it's pretty accurate. Like, especially these paces for you, like running 70s, 69s off a minute. Like, you're going to have a heap left in the tank to roll a 62 towards the end.
Yeah, I felt pretty comfortable those early ones. But yeah, I did run near the Little Athletics track on Saturday, and that was marked, and I might get on there the next couple of weeks, just see what it says. In the Arvo Friday, got out for 7K, 432s. Saturday, easy double, 15K in the morning, 436s. Put Carly's heart rate monitor on for this one, actually. I think it was like 128, 129 beats per minute. And then in the afternoon, 7.2K at 433s. There was like this local like gang soccer match happening at the footy ovals. So like there was a whole group of kids just dressed in like blue stuff and a whole other heap of kids dressed in red stuff. But it was like pretty much they must have got the memo, just bring any T-shirt that's red, bring any T-shirts that's blue. And then they were both at like other ends, like no cone set up, just soccer goals. And they were having this soccer game, like just getting up and about. I loved it. It looked like it was real like gang mentality. Probably had to be there to enjoy it. Anyway, Sunday.
What do you mean gang mentality?
So these were just
fighting?
It kind of looked like that. It was like, there was like the Echuca boys had rolled over to Moama and said, hey, we're all blue tops, we're going to play the Moama boys. And then there's just this other group of kids at the other end, just in all like, because they were all in different red T-shirts. Like one kid's wearing a Manchester United top, another kid's wearing a school T-shirt from a uniform that's red, someone's wearing like a Sydney Swans jumper. And then it was like, they'd kind of organised amongst themselves to organise this soccer match.
Sandalot vibes.
It was kind of similar to that. But just, brought their own kind of like makeshift uniforms. Anyway, that entertained me while I was running around for a while. Sunday, 32K at 412s. Bit hot in the second half, about 20 degrees. Solo. You know when you just don't know where you're going? Like Archie was in Burnie. I just was like making it up as I was going. It's just boring, a real drag. But we got it done. 156K for the week. Let's move on to...
Big week.
Well, every week's big from him. It's always 150.
That's 4 weeks at 150 now, boys. I ticked my little goal off of running 4 weeks at 150.
Pick a race?
Can we make the announcement that for both your boys' next big marathon?
Oh yeah, we're in. We got the email today, Osaka Marathon.
We did, yeah. Actually, everyone that I know got in.
I was starting to panic a bit, Moose. I was like, I swear we were meant to know by now.
Yeah, and I've booked flights.
Yeah.
And Will on the run, he's booked accommodation, and it's like, well, we'd better get in.
I better sort that tomorrow. Well, you got to pay now, Croak, so they kind of say, hey, yeah, you got a spot. You got to start giving us some money to pay.
I can't forget to do that. I'm bound to forget that.
Do that tomorrow morning, I reckon.
Yeah.
We're in. I was looking at the Vic 5K champs, that like B or C grade race there. The only thing is, I think I looked at the timetable, and the B grade race is like 9:10 p.m. on a Thursday night, which like I go to bed at 8:30 p.m.
What do you mean B grade? You'd be in A.
Don't know. I'd probably put down a time that puts me in B grade.
Mate, you're coming fucking 10th, 15th at AV cross country.
It's a lot of
You're in the A race.
A lot of good young kids getting around Moose. I was just going to put my seed time down as like 14:45 or something. Paddy Stowe won the B race last year with a 14:20 something.
Don't we know about it?
Yeah, I know.
The king, just throwing the arms in the air like glory time.
There's no shame in winning the B race. I beat you one year winning the B race. Remember that?
I do remember that.
I won it, I reckon, like Dion Finocchiaro was second. You were like fourth or fifth or something. You had a sore back.
I reckon I was second.
Where?
Or maybe I got done. Maybe I touched up late.
I think I put like 4 seconds into you in the last 300 or something like that. Might see if Zach can dig up that footage during the week.
Don't do that.
It was a big kick finish that day. Yeah, I might do that. We'll see what happens. I wouldn't mind a race, but I'm pretty content just training. Let's stop talking about me and start talking about some Patreon supporters. Hey, Croaks, who you got?
I've got Manuel Nepper from Denmark, and according to Strava, he's run 16:12 for 5K on the track, 35:58 for 10K, and 79 minutes for the half marathon. He runs about 100K a week, and I think he's a student at the IT University of Copenhagen, studying a Masters of Science. So thank you for your support, Manuel.
Thank you, Manuel.
Who
you got, Bruce?
Mark Huber. Mark Huber. We couldn't get him on Strava, but we got some results. 2022 Sydney Harbour 10K. He's run 36:38. 79 minutes at this year's Gold Coast Half, and 2:58 at the recent Sydney Marathon. So I'm going to pay that as like a 244, I reckon, just based off conditions and course. Think he might be a senior advisor, development and project services at Greenwich Projects Proprietary Limited. Fuck, I got no idea what any of these people do.
Yeah, some good titles out there.
Advising, consulting, developing, all these words that like it doesn't really suggest they do anything. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, unless you're a school teacher, nurse.
Greenwich Projects.
Yeah.
Yeah, leadership and expertise in project and commercial management.
See, what does that mean?
Does that help?
That doesn't help at all.
I just want to interview people and say, what do you do? Like, what, from 9 till 5 every day, what do you actually do for your job?
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, because all three of us have very like basic, jobs. It's like everyone knows exactly what you do when you say you're a teacher or you work in a running shoe shop.
I've never had any job that you've had to explain what it is, though. Like, yeah, I make pizzas.
Hey, you're in the Navy. What are you talking about? You would have had to explain that.
That wasn't there long enough, Brady.
That was a bit different.
Defending the country.
His uniform never got dirty.
If you've ever seen Rambo, well, that was me. I don't need to explain it. Just go and watch a movie.
Another movie reference. I'm going to thank Peter Harsum from Norway. He's got a 5K PB of 18:04 at the Nansen Parkrun. Parkrun big in Norway, Croaks?
You're asking the wrong person, mate. I've never been to Norway.
Sorry, yeah. Norwegian listeners, I'd love to know. I probably could Google it, but give me your intel about what you know about Parkrun down there or up there. 37:44 for 10K and 80:03. So close to breaking an hour 20 at the Drummond half. That's Christo's race. He's also ran 2:59 at last year's Valencia Marathon. Looks like the Vaporfly 3 are currently his race shoe of choice. He's a tech lead. Okay, Moose, here we go. A tech lead at Mitterban, Croaks Shisbed, SMB. And he spent time studying in Brisbane at the QUT from 2013 to 2015. Thank you, Peter, for your support all the way over there in Norway.
Looks like he funded his trip by being a bar attendant. So this is all a bartender. So this is all on his LinkedIn. He's worked at the Z Bar, the Down Under Bar, the Guilty Rogue. What else?
Down Under Bar.
Down Under Bar. So this is all in Brisbane. Yeah. Well, it was back then. I don't know if it's still going. Then where else? Bavarian Beer Cafe.
He's good at pouring beers.
Yeah.
Got a bit of experience there, and then straight to tech lead. That'd be another one I'd love to know. Peter, write in. Just tell me what you do for your job.
Well,
I think that's IT based.
Yeah, but it's the same thing.
This one. Let me Google this.
Remember when people always say Sinead works in IT? And like, is she like? What does she actually do? What does that mean?
All right, so here we go. Shipstead SMB. Is that what you just said? Launched in 2009 as Mittenbud, it connects consumers with skilled professionals in carpentry, electrical engineering, painting, plumbing, and a range of other large renovation categories.
What's like leaks
At the core is the Mittenbud concept, consisting of a modern and scalable technical platform with rich user interfaces towards both consumers and businesses, marketing capabilities spanning the entire growth funnel, and a proven data-driven SMB sales methodology. Mittenbud is one of the most successful marketplace products in this category globally.
I'm still a bit confused, but I'm a simple
man. There you go. I got no idea what that is.
People on Patreon, thank you for your support. You'll be rewarded this week because we've got 2 bonus shows coming at you as we're in between our Road 2 series. Mind you, I think our next Road 2 series has been locked in just the last couple of days. But you'll be catching up, Moose, you're catching up with Ali and Sinead this week, I think, to do a bit of a monthly, see what they've been doing.
Yes, yeah, and that was after her win yesterday.
At Burnie.
So down at Burnie, yeah.
Ali's
so
been on Strava too, so no one knows what she's been doing.
Go dark mode. So it makes for a good podcast, actually, to hear what's going on there.
I was thinking
the noise.
What is it, 3 years since they did Road to New York as well? New York's this week.
Oh, 2019, 4 years.
4 years. 4-year anniversary, bringing that panel back together.
That was fun, that one.
That was a good one.
I reckon That's another benefit, isn't it? Patreon, you go on, go back and listen to what Sinead and Ali were talking about as they went into New York Marathon 2019, where they both had excellent races.
So much great training intel.
And then they ran a world 10K, where the World Athletics Champs 2,000 meters during the build-up. Like, brilliant chat that. And you could hear two different approaches, training together, though, a lot.
And they ran 31 a lot.
Yeah, fourth and fifth fastest ever, maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
At the time?
In Australia, yeah. Yeah, it's all there. Once you sign up to Patreon, just get unlocked like 200 episodes. And then, Croaks, you're catching up with the Road to Berlin boys this week as well.
Next week.
Next week, sorry.
Yeah.
So, there'll be 2 episodes coming at you as bonus episodes on Patreon Extra Elite over the next couple of weeks.
Get ready to lace up for a cause that matters. More Than a Run, powered by Lululemon, is a hybrid event spanning across Australia and New Zealand, uniting the running community to support men's health. Join as an individual or enter a team with your club or run crew and choose to run the More Than a Run 10K, 30K or 60K on November 25th. For more information on how to get involved, visit morethanarun.com.au.
Running news, boys. Burnie 10 happened. I watched it when I got home from my long run. Weird race. It must have been a bit of a tailwind out. Like, everyone kind of fanged it out and then kind of struggled a bit on the way home. Jack Rayner won easy, 29.03. Andre Waring second, 29.30. Liam Buden was third, the Queenslander, in 29.40. Dale Carroll was the only one that went with Jack after about, I'm going to say 1.5, 2K. Jack stayed in the group. And then, I'm just looking where Dale Carroll finished. He ended up fading to 17th in 32.04. And I think he went through nearly halfway with Jack. I wonder if there's a 5K split here. 5K split, 14.22. So he's run 14.22, 17.41. That's a big blow-up, fellas, if you haven't seen one. So he was the only one that kind of went with Jack, and then all the vision was just of Jack, and then they showed Andre coming in and Liam at the finish line there. Probably slower times than usual. There were only 5 people under 30 minutes. What did you run when you ran there, Moose? Burnie?
Gee, one good. Also blow up. I'm going to say 31 high.
Okay.
That's a guess. Probably slower.
Yeah, you were coming back off a marathon or something, though, weren't you? It's real last minute when you got
I was sick.
that.
I had the flu. I was sitting in the shower and beforehand.
That's right.
Bad flu.
Radio Jacob.
Yeah.
Plenty of excuses there. The women's race, that was a bit closer. Yeah. Caitlin Adams was with Sinead Diver up until about, I'm going to say 4.5K, and they give out $500, whoever's winning at the turnaround. And Sinead kind of moved away from her at 4.5K, and then was just running a group of guys the whole way back. Didn't really see Caitlin again on the footage. So Sinead won in 32.48, Caitlin second in 33.19, and Isabel Duell was third in 34.58. Sinead looks strong. I did see in her post-race interview, she kind of said that winning was the main intention there, not to chase the time, but when she made the move and on the way back, she looked super strong with that group of fellas. See any of it, boys?
I saw the last bit. And I saw the interviews as well. So, Sinead said that she wasn't really worried about time. And I think she did it reasonably comfortable based on sort of what she was saying in the interview.
Yeah. Ask her what marathon she's running, Moose, because she said in that interview that she's thinking to go around again before Paris.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So it'll be something early next year.
I'll ask that. I'll ask why she's thinking that too.
Yeah. Ask her about that Melbourne Marathon stuff I was talking about the other week as well.
Maybe she wants to win Canberra, April.
What about Ballarat? Big money down at Ballarat Marathon in April.
What about for the women? What was their time incentives there? Because there were some pretty solid ones.
Bonuses, you mean?
Yeah, like $6,000.
Oh, at Ballarat, you mean?
Yeah, at Ballarat. So
I'm not sure. It's on their
$6,000
Instagram
win.
page.
Time bonus for the men. I remember seeing sub 210 was like $3,000. So you get someone like Liam go have a crack, win $9,000.
Yeah, I did send it to a mate because I let me see if I can find it pretty quickly here. I might be struggling.
What's the course like, Moose, though?
The course was pretty flat, so it was 164 meters or something. And so there's one decent hill in it. It's 2 laps of a half marathon course. and then you go up, you go around Vic Park, you go out the Shrine of Remembrance or whatever. No, not the Shrine. No, you go out the Remembrance Drive, it's called, under the arch, and then back around the lake, down to town. You just drop down into town. Town's like halfway down the hill, and then you turn around and come back up. So it's a fair bit flatter than Melbourne. I think Melbourne's 180, so it's a bit flatter than Melbourne.
It's 6K first prize, and then the best bonus is for sub 227.30, which is an extra 3,000.
Yeah,
$9,000 payday.
Yeah,
Nothing to
pretty
sneeze
good,
at.
isn't it?
That's pretty good.
I guess you got to put it on the line to go for the extra $3,000 though.
Yeah, get some good male paces. She's a 221 girl.
Yeah, but it's a marathon you would use up. Whereas if you win it in 2:35 and you can train the next week, that'd be worth it.
And also, I would have thought April's probably getting on the later side to use up a marathon.
Yeah, for sure. That's why it would have to be a tempo run.
For Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially like for something like Sinead, who's pretty much locked in. Why would you risk running a marathon that close to the Olympics? Like if you're going to do one, it's got to be really early, I'd imagine, in the year.
Yeah.
Find out tomorrow night, Moose.
Moose will know tomorrow night. Know it all. Patreon supporters will know as well. Other news, a bit of just Bowerman Track Club chat. I listened to the Coffee Club podcast. They spoke about this for about 45 minutes, those boys. We won't be going for that long. But did you see the news that Grant Fisher has left the Bowerman Track Club and Cooper Tier? Both haven't announced where they're going, although I haven't seen that announced yet. But yeah, both leaving that. You probably know the most about the American setup, Moose. It was kind of like the pinnacle track club in Melbourne, in America, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, for a while they had all the big dogs. They had like Woody Kincaid.
He also left last year, yeah.
Yeah, he's gone. Well, Grant Fisher was the kid out of college, but then has just got better and better, and he's a top player now. You had Shelby Houlihan, yeah, who's still there, I guess. I mean, she's not part of the squad as such. You had Courtney Frericks, who was medalist.
Yep. Steeple. Yep.
Elise Cranny.
Carissa Schweitzer.
Mo Ahmed.
Oh, yeah, Schweitzer. Mo Ahmed. And then
Jager.
Oh yeah, the steeple. They had all the big crew, and they've all kind of disappeared. Not all of them have disappeared. You still got Evan Jager, right? He's still there. You've got Elise Cranny still there, but a whisper which we might see her leave soon. Who else is still there? Well, I mean, Schwitzer's still there. So Ahmed's still there?
Yeah, he's still there. So I guess the question, that's right, who the English guy left end of last year as well.
Oh, yeah. What was his name?
Oh.
Jeez, it escapes me as well.
Mark Scott.
Yeah, that's it. Mark Scott left. But the question is, there's potentially a few reasons for it. One, I guess the reputation of what's happened recently with Bowerman, like with the Shelby Houlihan.
And that's a while now, though.
It was a while ago. So the other two that I'm thinking is that Jerry is now like the head of University of Oregon, and do they feel like that they're being a little bit neglected as a result of that, or they're made to move to Eugene instead of Portland where they had been previously?
Yeah, I think it's the second one. I think that Eugene, although it's got some okay running, it's a college town. It's probably not where all the adults want to live. They probably signed deals knowing or thinking that they would be training at either Park City in Utah a lot of the time or in Portland, and then they've sort of been semi-forced to move cities to somewhere that they don't want to be. And then, I mean,
you don't think the coach factor factors into it?
I do as well. I think both. But it only happened since he really started. He took that job though, didn't it? Where everyone started leaving, and you can't that's a massive job. Coaching at Oregon, one of the top 5 schools in the country, that's a full-time job. You don't have a lot of time left after that to monitor what your professional athletes are doing. And they only have a small window. Why would they do it with someone who's half-arsing it with them?
Grant Fisher is like the top of the top, though, and it's an Olympic. We're coming into an Olympic year. What are the Olympics away? 8 months? 9 months? 7 months?
Yeah.
Like, it's a risky kind of move.
Well, it's probably a big financial move for
Do you
the
think
fella.
he'll move from Nike?
No, I mean for Jerry, sorry. Like, it's a big
for him to
financial
move
move
away
to take
from
the university contract, and maybe
Andrew
he wasn't.
Sekafian's still there as well.
Because Jerry's also more than just like the cross country and distance coach there. Like, he's the head coach of the whole program.
Yeah.
So he's looking after the cross country program as well as the track and field. So that includes all the sprints, all the jumps, everything like that as head coach. So you'd imagine like the admin involved with that. It's pretty full on.
I don't think a lot of the head coaches of the athletics department are actually on the field coaching too often. They've all got sub leads, like sub coaches, like a distance lead and a sprints lead that would be doing most of the nuts and bolts of it.
Anyway, but let's run, Flow Track. They'll be covering that kind of stuff. If you want more information, the other news that happened, maybe when we were recording last week or maybe just before, but the Ingebrigtsen family update, where a few of the brothers, not all of them, and I'm hoping I get this right, Norwegians, because I know there's a lot of you guys that listen, but they've come out and accused their dad of physical and emotional abuse as they were being coached by him and fathered by him, I guess. Did you guys get a chance to read that article I shared with you guys today?
Yeah, I read it this afternoon. It's pretty long.
I read it, yeah.
Yeah, it was good though, wasn't it?
You kind of pasted into our group?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I think it was from The Guardian. I read it on another forum, and then someone had cut and pasted the same thing. Heavy stuff, isn't it? And sad from all accounts.
It's hard to know what to make of it, isn't it? It's like, it's really, you just don't know. I feel like I don't know. Like, it's weird because it's so, like, how hard Liney was as a coach. We saw it through the shows. We saw that this was not a normal setup. But from what we saw, everything seemed like it was not above board, but like the kids were ticking off on it. The kids were like, no, this is what we want, and he will get us there doing this. It's almost like they gave their approval for him to act like he was. But I know there's lots of stuff we didn't see, of course. It's a reality TV show.
I might just read this excerpt from it, Moose, if that's okay.
Please.
Last week, Jakob Ingebrigtsen, 23. It's important to remember he's still that young. The Olympic 1500-metre gold medalist and two-time 5,000-metre world champion, and two of his brothers, Hendrik and Philip, wrote a piece for Norway's VG newspaper. It stated that their father and former coach, Gert, had abused them. Start quotes. We have grown up with a father who has been very aggressive and controlling and who has used physical violence and threats, close quotes, they stated. We still feel discomfort and fear which has been in us since childhood. They went on to say they had accepted this and lived with it until 2 years ago, when the same aggression and physical punishment struck again. They called the situation unbearable and said the pressure we have felt has been inhumane at times. Gert, 57, responded by admitting he was far from perfect as a father and husband, but categorically, denied being violent towards his children. Our family have lived in the public spotlight for many years, and we have chosen to let the public into our lives through TV series, interviews, and much more, he said. That violence should have occurred in this public family's life is unthinkable. The Norwegian people have seen our lives for better or worse. Just a bit to read there, but a bit happening.
There's a couple of things from me. I can sort of see why the boys have gone public, because in part of that article, Brady, that you sent us, there was the part where for a while there, Gert was almost like the victim, and even us, we were poor Gert, like imagine just leaving your dad, because originally it was like we left him because of health reasons, and this stuff never came out, and so they almost had to come out and be public to change the narrative, because it was almost like Gert was getting all this sympathy when potentially he shouldn't have been. And the other thing for me is like it's really like we don't see this in track and field that often, but this has like tennis and golf vibes that, really overpowering. Like, you are going to be a superstar. You are going to start from the age of 8 and, this sport is going to be your life. Like, we don't see that in our sport that often. And that's sort of what this feels like to me.
I don't think you see it that often anymore because there's so much negative attention when you do see it. And it typically isn't thought of as healthy for the child.
Well, and that's where, like, these boys don't really know anything else. And that's why, like, they're saying here that they put up with it for so long, but it's like, well, yeah, it sounds like, because you think of Jakob, like, he's been pretty much, a full-time athlete sort of thing since he was 8. So he missed sort of all of those years where, I think in the article it said even before 8, he was pretty much like, focusing on running. And so imagine that, like, all of those years from, like, even from 8 through to like 16, all of those like developmental years where kids should just be going out having fun. He's training twice a day.
Pretty full on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty full on. The other bit of news here, no World Cross Country trials for the Australian cross country team, which would be for the World Cross Country Champs next year they got moved, didn't they?
2024 in Serbia.
They were in somewhere else, weren't they? Are you sure they're still in Serbia?
According to the email from AA, yes, I am.
Okay. Yeah, so you heard about this, Moose?
Yeah, so email came through saying, I'll just read it out. Unlike last year, there'll be no specific selection trial for the World Athletics Series event. They're talking about World Cross. And instead, the Athletics Australia Chair of Selectors has confirmed that selection will be based around middle distance events taking place over the summer, with a significant focus on performance at Zatopek 10 in December. So what that means is no selection trials like the one that was held at Stromlo early last year. Now, none of us like this, do we?
No.
I don't think anyone likes this. I've put this to a number of athletes around the place, and no one said, "Oh yeah, great! What a waste of time those trials were."
It's a different sport. It's a different sport.
Cross country, exactly. Oh. Yeah.
Even on Stromlo, that's pretty generous cross country.
And also, if they're factoring in something like Zatopek, so like let's look at Andy Buchanan for example. So Andy's a great cross country runner, probably not as good on the track. He probably won't run Zatopek this year because he's running Fukuoka Marathon.
Yeah.
So
he just doesn't get a chance.
So is Brett.
Well,
you've got Jen Lacar's doing Izzy Bat Doyle, doing Valencia. You got Sinead doing something. Oh well, no, Sinead actually. We'll see if she's doing Zatopek or not. But there's a lot of athletes who are going to miss Zatopek because they're running marathons or whatnot, or perhaps they're overseas still at college, and it looks like that's going to be the major event that they select from.
And the problem is it opens it up then to purely selected discretion, which is one, and that was probably the most exciting thing about going out to the World Cross Trials last year was you knew that first, was it 4 or 5 were automatic, and like watching the positions between 3 and 6, like that was the most exciting part for me because people, like guys like Rory Hunter, for example, like finished in the top 4, 5, so was guaranteed a spot. Those guys now don't really get the opportunity because the selectors are just going to pick the athletes like Brett. Like, and admittedly, Brett deserves to go. But if Brett rocks up to the trial and loses to a Rory Hunter, then, Rory deserves to go. But in this case, those sort of next tier athletes who could potentially run well at cross country probably won't even get a look in.
You don't get the fairy tale story. You just get what the selectors want. And a bit of the concerning thing for me is that it says The chairman of selectors has confirmed that selection will be based around middle distance events taking place over the summer. So marathoners don't run middle distance events taking place over summer.
Yeah, so they want you to do like the Adelaide Track Classic 5K.
It's pushing that. It's
Yeah.
pushing the events they own, and it wants more participation in those events and will reward you with a singlet at World Cross. That's what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing this is a pretty self-serving sort of policy.
Resource-wise, it can't be, sorry to interrupt, but resource-wise, it can't be that hard putting on a race at Stromlo. Like, the course is marked.
You don't shut roads.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Can't be that much, yeah.
You got a very black and white event, but now they go in grey area.
And if there's ever an event where you have a trial, it's World Cross, because times are irrelevant. You can send 6 people. So it should almost, and I know we spoke about it earlier this year as to, like, we think there should maybe only be 1 spot left for discretion in cross country. And it's like you rock up to the trial, and if you finish top 5, you're in the team. And then they have the 1 spot available for, a Jack Rayner getting food poisoning the night before. That, you want to put him in the team. So I love the idea of, because time, as I said, times are irrelevant. So it doesn't matter what you've run on the track. It's like you go and run a hard cross country course, top 5 go, 1 spot open for discretion.
Yeah, I love that. Anyway, yeah, it's a bit disappointing. Croatia was where they were meant to be before I don't know if they got it taken off them or they didn't want to do it anymore. 10th and 11th of Feb. No, now they moved to the 30th of March. Oh, so Zatopek's start of December. Jeez. Yeah, so you could have a good run at the start of December and then be picked for a team in the 30th of March. It's a long time, fellas. It's a long time.
Yeah. Kind of makes it, I guess, just puts more discretion back in the hands of the into the selectors.
Be probably good for the overseas people as well. So if they don't come back for Zatopek, but they run a few decent... Oh, they won't be running track, though. So, like, how does, like, a Morgan McDonald or someone like that qualify?
Yeah, so that's going to be discretion. Like, maybe... Because, they do have, like, a cross-country series over there. I know the boys did, because it was, like IAAF points or something that they did last year. That's why they ran it. So I guess they could maybe do a few races over there, and if Morgan was to knock off a few of the real big dogs, then that would help him from a selector's discretion point of view. But it just opens it up to, all right, they'll look at this year, who were the Aussies that were in the Aussie singlets for all the different distance events, and basically just take their pick from those. Not potentially look at some up and comer who has a blinder at a trial.
Yeah, disappointing. Listen to question, Croaks.
So the question comes in from Kirsten Strudwick. Now that the marathon season is over for the majority of recreational runners, what should a good off-season look like over summer?
Well, first thing, I wouldn't look at it like an off-season. Like, that doesn't, to me, that...
So, sorry, I should have, that was in inverted sort of commas off-season. So, like, I guess in between now, like, preparing for your next marathon. Yeah,
I gotcha. For me, this is an opportunity to get more efficient and more economical as a runner. So this period of time after your initial recovery and then your rebuild, I do the things that get neglected during the marathon training and things that will assist in the next marathon block. So a lot of threshold work and VO2 work that should help with the runner's economy before we transition to those long specific workouts.
Hills. I like to throw some hills in there.
Hills and mileage too.
Where do you do those, Brady?
Yeah, I did some 15-second hill reps today, and I was just looking at my Strava before, and it comes up as 0 meters climbing in 15 seconds. But I swear,
was that on the bridge?
No, this was on this sand hill, not far from my house. But I swear there's a hill there. But yes, I think it's a good time to look at putting those kind of things in where you're not so fixated on like pace and stuff as well. Or some shorter reps, like get that turnover going, because you kind of neglect that, I think, when you're training for marathons in season. Like, you don't want to be doing this, you don't want to jump straight back into marathon workouts. You're just going to get stale mentally, physically. You want to mix
That's
it
how
up.
you plateau.
Yeah.
That's how runners don't progress.
Different
is
stimulus.
that exactly, yeah. They need to work every system. They need to develop different systems in order to get that diesel engine, that just sub-threshold marathoning engine working at a higher degree. And you do that through raising your lactate threshold. You do through increasing your VO2 max. All those things should help.
And a good point here might be when you first come back off your recovery period, that threshold pace may be the pace you ran for the marathon. But that's okay. Be patient. It will come down.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying there, Moose?
Yeah. I mean, you're going to come back less fit, and again, avoid that worrying about pace too much. Is a good chance to get rid of that expectation out of your mind. I also think mileage is important during this time too. So I don't think you wait until the last 10 weeks to crank your mileage up. I think if you can increase your mileage from 12 to 20 weeks out from your next marathon, like that's a really good chance to set yourself up for a good marathon block.
Yeah, do the work to be able to do the work.
Yeah.
Especially with that long run. Like if you can be consistently on your feet for 2 hours, 2 hours, 10 minutes, like before you get to 12 weeks out, it just makes it so much easier.
Yep.
Croaks, anything else to add?
Like you've pretty much covered it. I think that the main thing from me is I basically look at this is especially if the marathon is your focus, like moving forward. It's like, okay, like what holds you back from being a good marathoner? So basically just looking at general weaknesses. So for me, if somebody did their last marathon and their weekly mileage is at the bare minimum, it's like, all right, well, we want to just get you consistently running more in this period so that when we get to a marathon block, you can handle more mileage than you could last time, which is sort of what you were talking there, Moose, about not leaving the increased mileage till the last minute. But the other thing is, it's like, well, if you're purely like, if strength is your strength, then we're like, all right, well, let's try and actually get you a little bit faster. So for me, it's more just looking at, all right, in this period between marathons, how can you become a generally better all-round runner, which will then hopefully help you in your next marathon.
Yeah, spot on, fellas. Nailed that one. Moose on the loose, purchase of the week.
I was just chatting to Bree before. I was trying to say, I've got to think of something for Moose on the loose this week. And she's like, you've repeated so many already. Like, you've got to find a new segment because it's 313 episodes in. And I'm such an easygoing guy, carefree, that nothing bothers me. So I don't know what to go at. And the things that do bother me, a lot of them I can't say on here because I've got a business. I'll get eaten up. I'll get eaten alive. I'll lose my house. So I can't go too hard. I was going to do purchase, but I don't spend any money. So my purchase now is just mortgage. That's it. And renovations. Although, do you know, boys, I just bought an invisible fence for the backyard. So
an invisible fence.
Boys, I don't spend any money. It's just mortgage. But hey, did I tell you I bought this? Go on, invisible fence.
Yeah, have you heard of these?
No.
So it's like you run a wire out around your property, like create a boundary, and then it's like an electric cable, and then your dog wears a collar, and it's like an electric fence. So if he gets within a proximity, then he'll get reminded that he shouldn't be going that close, and so he won't escape the property.
Just back off, boy, back off.
And so I laid it this Arvo, or yesterday, and then I put the flags out today. And probably about an hour or so after I put the flag out, I'm standing there with Pia. She likes to look at the flags, they're blue. And this fucking tiger snake just starts going, like doing its slinky little thing through some bushes and then under a tire. And I'm like, holy shit, like I was just here putting flags out and this thing lives about a metre away from me. And it lives about a metre from our path where my dog goes down every single day. It's clearly going back to its little house. But yeah, we had a house sitter. Jimmy Friend's partner, actually, Alana, was looking after Theo a few weeks ago, and she saw it. It came out on the same path. So I've got a tiger snake living about a metre from my property.
Do they kill you, tiger snakes?
Well, they can.
Are they poisonous? Yeah.
Yeah, they're one of the badder ones there.
Jeez.
And they're aggressive too. Like they're one of the more aggressive snakes where if you disturb them, they seem to be. Oh, yeah. So I don't know whether I should call someone and get rid of it.
Probably a good idea.
But if I call someone and then they're like, oh, can't find it, because it's pretty hard to find a snake in the bush.
But at the end of the day, Moose, if you're back on the bush, you'll be calling them probably every second week.
Yeah.
There's going to be a heap of snakes in through there.
I know there will be. There will be for sure. So
do you not have a fence?
No fences at all.
No fences?
Yeah.
Is that just no one has fences down there?
No, there's we've got this big land for wildlife sign out the front of our house, and apparently the last owner, a few in the area have that. If you treat your backyard as if it's the bush and like you set up little habitats for creatures or whatever, then you put this sign up. It's like doing your bit for the wildlife. But it's a bit of a thoroughfare. So there's like kangaroos that use it to go past and other animals. I don't know what they are. But basically, if you put a fence up, it would stop the animals being able to get through. And I don't think that that's a good thing.
Jeez. Well, they're not paying rent. So you're responsibility, is it?
But now
they're just going to get electrocuted.
No, because it's only the dog with the collar on. And he's pretty smart. He learnt within a minute that blue flag means stay the fuck away from that because I don't like what happens when I go close to it. And now we've just got this weird blue flag fence out in our backyard. Pretty good stuff, though. Pretty good.
I didn't think we were going to go there, Croaks, but I'm glad we got something out of him for that segment. I'll finish off with some whispers, though. Nearly 100% strike rate so far in this segment. Got a couple. So if you're a listener, get your diary out because I've got a few things to lock in. First one.
Go to the best one first. Your best one's not written on here.
Oh, which is my best one?
The brother.
The brother? Whose brother?
Yes.
Kipton's brother.
I didn't actually read that one too. I'll have to reread that one. These are coming direct from Kenya. Ali Kipchoge is going to run Tokyo. Act surprised when you hear the announcement, but you heard it here first in October 30th. Kiptum, he's going to defend his title at London. So if you're getting excited about maybe a head-to-head, you're going to have to wait till the Olympics, so lock those two in. What about Kiptum? His brother won a marathon or something, didn't he? But he's coming off a ban. Is that correct?
Well, according to our man in...
Kenya.
So Calvin Kiptum, I'm just going to have a quick little look here.
But it's not...
Idenhoven, I think, marathon he won recently.
But he's not a Kiptum, is he? Different names.
Different names, yeah, which is confusing to me.
I'm not taking responsibility for this part of the segment.
Says he has 4 siblings, 2 brothers, 2 sisters, who also enjoy sports. However, is enjoying sports and is running 2:04 and coming through a doping ban. Don't know about this. This is pretty sketchy, I reckon.
Because he's late 30s, I think.
His brother.
The brother is?
Yeah, the brother.
Yeah. We also heard word that Kiptum's supposed to be 24 or something? 23? But he's got an 8-year-old kid.
I think a lot of people don't believe the ages, though. But yeah, the kid stuff obviously adds a bit to it.
There's a bit of deception going on over there, clearly. All the coaching thing, like it just doesn't seem like we're getting a lot of truth coming out of the old Kiptum camp. And do you reckon that's a big reason why Nike aren't going too hard on it?
Yeah, and Kipchoge.
Don't want egg on their face.
Yeah, exactly. And Kipchoge's staying away. Didn't even write it like a well done message or anything on socials. So maybe he's got word of a bit of suspect activity over there.
So this Kenneth Kiprop,
alleged.
Yeah, this Kenneth Kiprop Kipkemoy, he's 39. So according to his IAAF profile, he was born the 2nd of August 1984. All of his PBs, other than the marathon, which he set on the 8th of October this year, was set between 2012 and 2015. So, yeah, he's run 2:04.52 at 39. He's, what's he running? 13:03 for 5K, 26:52 for 10K. These are all 2012. 59:01 for the half marathon in 2014. So that's a long time. Like that's a long
9 years
stretch.
And then
And
he
so-
got done, did he?
Well, yeah, he missed a few years. I'll check. So there's 2023 results. Oh, he's got results here from 29. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's got results from other years. But here we go. So he's running. Oh, that's Eldoret. So he ran 2 hours 15 last year at the Abu Dhabi Marathon.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
a
that's
pretty big improvement. 2:15 to 2:04.
Shoes gross.
Yeah, maybe.
Wearing the new Adidas's.
I ran 2:08 in Boston in 2019.
Okay.
But yeah.
And that's his brother.
Well, yeah, but supposedly there was was there,
He's
drug ban? I don't know.
Some decent whispers here. I like it though.
I'm not taking responsibility for the second half of that because that was just gone off the rails.
These are coming straight out of Kenya too, from the ground.
I did have a watch
Well-
here as well. Izzy Bat Doyle, if you've been following her on Strava, pumping 200k weeks, doing marathon workouts at 320k over hills at altitude. Just watch out for a big performance from her at
And that's
Valencia.
marathon pace.
Well, she said marathon pace. I
So
think
320 at
I
altitude.
think she said marathon pace. I don't know, but you know what they like. They do those reps at those big workouts where you're doing 5k, 4k reps. It's meant to be at your marathon pace. Just keep an eye out. December, what is it? 2nd Valencia Marathon.
But that's 221 marathon pace at altitude.
That's what I'm saying. I'm calling it here early.
You reckon she's real fit?
I reckon she's been
Well, it's either one. It's either two things, right?
she's trained too hard or she's real fit.
That's there's only two options there.
And we'll see. The proof will be in the pudding. December.
Proof will be in the pudding. Let's
But
see
I'm
what
just-
happens.
Just to watch for it. It's 5.5 weeks out. What's coming up? New York Marathons this week. That would be good. New York's always good. Bad time for Australians to watch that though. I think it's on at like 2 a.m. Sunday night, our time. News and Bolt's also on. Expect Jack Rayner to win that like he does every other fun run at the moment. Haven't seen fields yet, but usually the ASICS crew get up there because that's an ASICS event. Caitlin Adams,
Is it
she might win it.
Cam Myers as a whisper for Noosa Bolt.
Oh,
Croaks.
hello.
Here he comes.
Hello.
5k road debut.
Guess it would be, wouldn't it?
Is he too young to be running 5k roads to be competitive with a guy like Jack?
I think Jack. Yeah, you'd have to back Jack over 5k on the roads, but be interesting to see how he goes.
Remember your first 5k too? It felt such a long way. Like he hasn't even done a competitive 3k, has he?
Yeah, but you got to. Yeah, but have you ever done a 5k when you've run 3:33 for a 1500?
Nah.
It's like
And 3:33
running
for 800.
running 13:30 pace wouldn't feel real fast. I wouldn't imagine.
That's a good whisper and a good watch from you. I like that. Usually a live stream as well. Craig Mottram's usually on the mic. See what happens on Saturday night, Australian time.
Didn't you beat Geordie Williams up there one
Oh.
year, Chris?
Here we go.
Actually, the memories came up on Facebook this week.
Who would have thought that you'd be still kicking around and Geordie Williams wouldn't as well?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Uh,
Who would have thought?
Good times.
November's kicking on. Are you boys doing Movember? You going to grow and mow? Raise some money? Putting you on the spot there.
No, I'm not doing it.
Why not?
I'm not doing it.
You're good
Well,
with mow.
I don't want to ask people for money.
Oh, yeah.
But we do have a
You can do it on the
box set
Instagram
up.
page.
In our store, we have a box set up where if someone we give them $1 or $2 gold coin after they buy a shoe from us, and we got a new little Movember box set up, and they can go, yeah, I'll put that $1 in this box, or they'll put it in two other charitable options. They get to pick.
That's a cool
So-
idea.
Yeah, we've done that since we started. Gold coin from every shoe goes to a charity.
Didn't know that, Crooks.
No, I didn't either. That's
good.
Good on you, Moose.
Yeah, good on you.
Port
You got-
local mate. And you know what? We got all the. They loved it too. Like Dementia Australia was one of them, and they had a big. They wanted to do a big photo and all this, but we don't do it for the accolades. We do it for the support. We support them, but we don't need to get patted on the back for it because it's just part of being part of the community.
Yeah.
A lot of people do it and then they like celebrate themselves, don't they? Big pat on the back for me. I'm a fucking legend. I raise money for this or that, but it's not like.
So
that's
you
not
feel
the-
a bit like that with growing the mow? Like a bit of look at me?
No, I just like I wouldn't do it genuinely, because I don't want to ask people for money. I'd rather just make a donation than I would do the growing of the mustache and saying, please chip in money for this. Like, I just don't want to do it. I don't want to be...
I get it. I'm not trying to talk you into it. I'm getting it.
Are you doing it?
I don't know. I was considering it. Croaks, are you going to do it?
No, I don't think so.
I did it a couple of years ago. Had a Sigmo going. So I don't know. Hey,
we finally got a moose on the loose.
People asking for money for charity causes. I do. Can I just plug this special thing I'm doing? You two boys are involved with this. In Movember, I am doing a special 10-part interview series on Tell Me Your Tales, asking 10 different individuals how running helps their mental health and strategies they use and stuff like that to do what they do. So I've got 10 high-performing males. Got 4 of them locked in today, actually. All 4 of them went to the Olympics, so they're big names and big... high intellectual conversationists as well. So I'm looking forward to talking to those ones. They're going to be 30-minute episodes. Everyone gets the same questions.
What did you call them?
Conversationalists. Is that a word?
Did you say high?
Yeah, I didn't want, there's a bit of a no dickhead policy when I chose these 10 people, and they've got to be able to talk about this, it's going to be some heavy content we're going to be talking about. So being very selective who I've chosen. I think the listeners will enjoy it, though. I think you'll like it.
Yeah, good. It's on our platform. It's on your own platform.
I was going to do it on my own one, but we can do it. We can talk about that off air. But we so often talk about the physical state of our performances in our running and our body and how our fitness level's at. But it's a bit taboo sometimes. Men talking about their own mental health and how that fits with their running and stuff. Your episode would be interesting, Croaks, because you're obviously coming from the heart stuff as well. So you've had some, you're going to have some good stories. But we're not going to talk about running or training. We're just going to be talking about mental health. So I'm looking forward to it. Just keep an eye out for that when November comes around.
You're one of these high intellect conversations.
No. I was going to say that I might sub out now hearing the...
No, you're very articulate, Croaks. I'm very much looking forward to your episode.
I don't even know what I'm going to say.
Do you want me to send you? I'll send you some of the questions. So you can start. First question is, what would you give yourself a score out of your mental health out of 10 at the moment? Bang. And then we're going to go into why you gave yourself that score. And then we'll be set from there. Anyway, boys, stay tuned. We'll have a chat about that. Keep an eye out if you're, I don't know, I might put it on this. We'll have a chat to, we'll see what we're doing. All right, fellas, we're done. What do you got happening, Moose, between now and next week?
Oh, I've seen a few shoe brands lately. Everyone's getting in before all the buys are ready later next month. So, saw Adidas last week, actually. Had a little poke around with Adidas. We, what else did we look at?
I enjoyed Shoe Geeks.
Shoe Geeks was good, wasn't it?
That was good. Knitter was good. Yeah. Knitter, some strong opinions there. I enjoyed Knitter. And Tommy, they're always good.
You like Knitter?
I liked his 1080 review. Because I feel like sometimes when people get free shoes, they just say good stuff.
Yeah, not us. Not us.
No one's safe. Or just honesty.
Well, that's why it should be valued. And you'll notice some of the brands, they pull back from giving shoes when they hear honest reviews like that and not just fucking fluff pieces, which there's so much of. Oh, so much of. And to be honest, it's hard being a store owner and doing that, like cutting a shoe down that you actually sell sometimes. Or sometimes cutting a shoe down when you sell it, because it's difficult, because I'm going to sell that shoe to someone and then I'm going to talk about how much I disliked it. But it doesn't work like that in the footwear game, because that shoe could be someone's unicorn shoe. Like someone's treasure is another man's trash, or whatever they say about that. So it's very different in the shoe game. But that's why you got to be honest.
I think
it's the other way around, Moose.
Somebody's trash is another man's
treasure.
Oh, it's the same shit. It works both ways, mate. Thought you were a high intellect conversationalist.
He is. What are you doing, Croaks, right now next week?
What are we doing? Back to the horse track tomorrow for training. I've been there for a while. And then we've got the Canberra Times 10K and half marathon on this Sunday. So I'll go down there and watch my athletes run around.
Hey, how'd you get F45 gig?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. So there's about a dozen that rocked up. And so, it was a bit of warm-up, bit of some drills, bit of technique stuff, and then we ended up doing some 1 minute reps.
1 minute, cut it down, good boy.
Yeah, But it was more like 1 minute as in, like, I didn't want them to absolutely flog themselves. I wanted them to focus more on like just form and technique and running control, because F45, it's like everything they do is high intensity to start with. And so my biggest takeaway, or the thing I wanted them to take away from it, was you all don't need to be doing a lot of hard running. You just need to get out the door and run a little bit longer than what you are currently running, but at an easy pace, and you'll become better runners.
All right, boys.
So it was good.
Well done. Good work. That's episode number 313. Patreon supporters, keep an eye out for Ali, Sinead and Moose tomorrow. Maybe Thursday by the time we get that out. Wednesday, Thursday. And we'll do it all again next week, boys. See you later.
See ya.
See ya. This episode of the Inside Running Podcast is powered by Lululemon. With 44 stores across Australia and New Zealand, you can shop the latest range either in-store or online at lululemon.com.au to find your well-being.